Hey everyone, this is Evan from Morethanmeetstheseguys, coming to bring you a little message that I think needs to be expressed, you know, succinctly here. So I'll do my best. We are a podcast that has started from the ground up, and I personally am someone who has loved Transformers all his life. They're important to me. The mythos, the toys, the whole legacy that's brought to my life. My friends on here all have their love as well. Boo, Andres, even Ed, I think he's come around. But if you could do us a huge favor, and if you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, that's huge. And share the link with friends. And if you're listening on podcast, give us a good review if you wouldn't mind. And send us a message, whatever, come to the Discord, whatever you want to do. We really enjoy doing this, but also we've come to really enjoy engagement with fellow fans and fellow people who just find the podcast. So, and in closing, I want to say thanks for being here and help us spread the message. All right, thanks. Bye. Hey everybody, welcome to More Than Meets These Guys. This is a podcast that goes back to Transformers from the beginning with a couple old friends coming at from different perspectives. I'm Evan. I'm the lifelong fan. I pretty much familiar with all aspects of the franchise and the fandom going back a lot of years. Here, Ed is not so much a fan, but he's familiar with the franchise. And thanks for being here, everybody. Ed, what's going on, man?
I've been gone for 2 weeks is what's going
Yeah.
on, and I apologize. If anyone was alarmed by my absence, don't be alarmed. I was one of those weeks I was out of town. I was on vacation. I went to Legoland. You ever been to Legoland, Evan?
I have not. I went to downtown Disney where they have like a store, but I've never been to Lego Land. Was it a
See,
land
the
of
thing is,
Legos?
I see. I went to what I thought was Legoland in Atlanta years and years ago, like probably 6 or 7 years ago. And all it really is like a little thing in the mall where you go in and there's like some Lego things built and like a little tiny shop and you can build a little minifig or whatever. And it was like, and I was like, people talk about like, there's like jokes and like Arrested Development about going to Legoland. And people are like, oh man, you
Yeah.
should go to Legoland in Orlando. It's very cool. And I was like, why? I mean, I can just like build some Legos and like look at a 4 foot Darth Vader, like whatever. That's cool, but I don't really need to go to a dedicated park for that. If I'm gonna be in Orlando, I'm gonna go to Universal or Islands of Adventure or the Magic Kingdom or something like that. Which I love. The
Right.
Magic Kingdom is
Oh,
one of
I
my
do
is my
too.
favorite park. But we went to Legoland and it was very cool. It was actually like a full blown park. They have like roller coasters and like 4D rides and all this stuff. Who knew? I had no idea. It was very cool. There's like a Ninjago ride where you go around and like you wear the 3D glasses and stuff comes out and you have to do these like hand emotions to like throw throwing stars at these things to defeat them. But what's funny is like they have a poster in the waiting room because you're going through like a temple. Like Ninjago's like a if you couldn't figure it out from the name, it's like a Japanese inspired like ninja thing. So you go through this Japanese style temple, but there's a big poster of how you do the things, how you do the moves or whatever. And because like when you do the things you have to like stick your hand straight up at an angle and the diagram and so like there's like a big diagram where it's like like a person doing it like one way with an X over it and then another way and with an X over it and then one way with the green check, but the cartoon of it, the little drawing of it is the person like giving like a Sieg Heil, and so like that's like that was very funny.
So yeah, yeah. I guess you're friends with the local beer pub, well, favorite place.
Yes, the SS Beer Works they were down there in full effect. Also, here's something cool though at Legoland. You can also get a Dole Whip, the greatest snack of the Magic Kingdom. Are you familiar with the Dole Whip?
Oh, actually, yes, I am.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought you said dual whip. I'm like, what's a dual whip? Yes, the
No,
Dole whip is
Dole, like
amazing.
Dole pineapples, like a pineapple
Yes,
float. You can get that. You can get that at Legoland, and they're like $4. I was
they're so good
amazed
when it's
how
hot.
cheap everything was because like I got like one for my whole family, and it was like less than I would have paid for one at Disney. That was pretty
True,
cool.
true,
So yeah, I did that. And so I was gone for a very long time. I ate a lot of really delicious food.
true.
And
important.
no, for real, I ate at
Yeah.
a bazillion really, really good places. Stayed at some really cool hotels. Outside of that, I've been reading through and getting ready for Warhammer 40,000 10th edition. You know, I alluded to this last time that we spoke, that it was coming out soon, and
Yes. Yes.
I got like the new book and everything. It's very, very cool. I'm very excited about the new rule set, and what makes me even more excited about it is that people I don't like are just having absolute meltdowns about how much they hate it, and I'm like, well, good, so I don't have to deal with you in this game ever again. So
Isn't that one of
so
the
good.
best things when you
It's so
something?
good. It's
Yeah, when
so
something
good.
happens that changes, like, and you're actually a true fan, you actually change with things, and you are like, oh, I'll
Yeah,
try this new thing. People are like, it's going to ruin the whole thing. I'm not going to play it anymore. I'm not going to enjoy it. Good. I
it's
don't
cool,
want you there
man.
anyways.
Weed yourself out, man. Like,
Yeah,
see you later. Like, we didn't need you in the first place. So
it,
yeah.
it's funny. I was talking to Boo about this last week. The most hated, actually no, the most hateful person in the Transformers fandom is a trans fandom, as a Transformers fan. When they're like something new comes out, they're like, oh, this is terrible, I can't ever enjoy that. That's it's changing everything. If you can adapt, you can enjoy new things all the time. It's actually really rewarding, like 40K. But that is your crack. This is mine. We all have different, we have different flavors, but we still, have our hobbies.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Speaking of something of new and cool new and cool versions of old things. I went to the movies and saw the new Spider-Man movie,
How was that?
Across the Spider-Verse. It was really good. It's fantastic, and I love it. They're the only, like, as I've said before, they're the only good superhero movies. But they have this trailer for the new Ninja Turtles movie, and buddy, I am extremely excited for this new Ninja Turtles movie.
I'm kind of weirded out that the animation, it almost looks like they try to do like some sort of like stop motion and claymation, but it's more fluid than that. It's weird
That's what
animation style.
Spider-Verse looks like. That's called, and it's
Oh,
called animating on threes.
yeah, I've actually I heard an explanation of this,
Yeah,
and
but that's how Spider Verse is animated, and
yeah,
I really dig it, because yeah, it does look almost like it's kind of stop motiony, and but it looks so cool, and it looks a lot of like, it looks a lot of fun, and it looks like they're kind of getting back to the whole like teenage thing, because I feel like a lot of Ninja Turtles things forget that
yeah.
aspect of it, that they're, they're goofy teenagers that want to watch TV and skateboard and eat pizza, and and that's cool. So
And we went to see a movie recently. I don't think it was Evil Dead Rise that we had this. It was a movie we saw recently. Oh, it was The Boogeyman, which is not good. But they saw the trailer for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Was it Mutant Madness
Mutant
or
Mayhem,
Mutant
Mutant
Mayhem?
Mayhem,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. And
Good
like,
logo too, man. That logo looks like a Garbage Pail Kids logo. Like,
it
like
does.
the dripping slime and stuff. I'm
Yeah, it
really into that.
does. They're really embracing that idea of it. It's funny. They go away so much from the comic, which is fine. The comic and the
Mhm.
TV show are separate animals. I have some of the old comics, the old line art comics, and they're fine. But what you can you tell the difference between the turtles by what weapon they hold. But
Yeah.
no, I mean this is a good homage to the show. But like you said, they're actually teenagers. They're doing teenage things. They're being idiots. They're being
It looks, yeah,
goofballs.
it looks cool, because I feel like the TV show kind of touched on that, and like the first
A little
movie
bit.
did too, because like love the first movie, like
Yeah.
the first like live action movie. Love the movie,
Yeah.
and
I don't think I watched it past
it's
that.
very fun and very
Yeah.
good. So but
But I
you know
gotta
who else is
say,
very fun? What's
what's
that?
that?
You know
Well, I
who
was
else
gonna
is very
say,
fun and very cool?
well, I was gonna say real quick, I really like that we actually have a very diverse like background now. I have like this teal blue, you have that red. Very, very striking difference.
It is very cool. So yeah, those of you who are audio only,
You should check it out on audio or
you should check it
video.
out on video, because
Yeah.
I'm not going to explain it anymore. So just come watch us on YouTube. 'Cause,
But
yeah,
else is really cool? Tell me,
Donald F. Glut
dude.
back in the
Donnie, he's
house writing
back.
this episode, back in writing Megatron's master plan, part one. So we're in for a we're in for a two
Yes.
part thing, and so this is cool, because that wasn't every day that you get a two part. You didn't always get a two part back in the day,
And
and
Donald
that's
Glut,
rare.
I'm feeling good about this because Donald
Mhm.
Glut's one of the better ones. Man,
Yeah, man.
one thing I had to ask: Central City, is this like where the Flash lives?
Is the Flash from Central City, or is he from?
He's from Central City, and there's the depending on the version of the Flash. I think the Golden Age Flash is from a different city, and Silver Age Flash is from Central City. Barry, I think
I
is from
saw.
Central.
Wait, oh, I was about to say who's from Keystone City, but that's Green
That's
Arrow.
that's the original, the Golden Age.
Green Arrow is from Keystone City.
But
Like
also,
the
well,
Oliver Queen. Oliver Queen
yes, well, Oliver Queen, but
is from
also
Keystone City.
the predecessor to Barry is from Keystone City.
Jay Garrick.
Yes, Jay Garrick's from Central City.
Okay.
Or some
Well,
from
because like
Keystone.
the original Green Lantern, not before Hal Jordan, who was that guy, Alan Scott. He was from Gotham City. He was from Gotham City, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, Central City. I thought this was cool. We deal with a lot of politicians here. This was kind of neat.
It was a
but
really cool thing to see too.
We get this total milquetoast mayor guy here. This dude is like, oh god, this guy's what like Donald Trump thinks like Bernie Sanders looked like when he was like 40.
Funny you say that, but go on. He announces the opening of the solar power farm, which was generously donated by the loser of the election.
Yeah,
Mr.
so
Sean
something's afoot here, but like also like Jesus Christ, like the second line of the episode is like, we're got a new solar facility. Gee, I wonder what's gonna happen. Like, I wonder if somebody's gonna steal power from this thing.
But wait,
like
Mr. Burger is in his office in like this Burger Tower. I would use a different word, a different name, but he's in Burger Tower with a CRT, a giant villain CRT with armed guards on either side. He's got Redicops on both sides of his monitor.
He does. One of them has a really nice mustache. Also,
he does.
But this guy's like Mr. Burger is like a bad guy politician, and he looks like Harvey Weinstein. So something real bad's gonna happen to somebody in this episode.
not
like
Weinstein
spoiler
guy.
about Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
If you don't know about Harvey Weinstein and you're going back and watching like old like cool movies from like 1995, you're watching old Miramax movies. Like, buddy, I'm afraid I got some bad news coming up for you.
So the mayor says Decepticons, like he's just announcing it, and Burger is on his monitor going, yes, they've taken the bait or something like that.
Yeah, and, like the bait. Like what's going on here? But then he gets on the phone and he goes, so he says Tank Cruz. And what I heard was Ted Cruz
you too.
For combat.
This guy just gets
worse and worse. He gets Ted Cruz prepare for combat. He gets worse and worse with every second of this episode. This guy's terrible. You heard the same thing. You heard the same thing. Like, I had to go back. I was like, wait, did he? This is from the 80s.
I swear to God, I have my notes. I will do a screenshot if you want, but it is on my notes. Ted Cruz prepare for combat.
Dude, Ted Cruz probably watched this episode when it came out. Ted Cruz is like not a young or not like an old guy, you know.
Oh.
So I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? But the Seekers show up. Well, but it's Starscream and like those new Seekers, those weird like the Conehead Seekers.
The rest Ramjet and Dirge.
So these guys can just like make Energon like container cubes by themselves. They don't even need Soundwave anymore, and that makes me real sad because that's one of Soundwave's jobs, and I don't like him being put out of a job.
Well,
I don't like him being made redundant, as they say across the pond.
We'll have to find some other uses for him. But so
they do. Spoiler.
Sean Burger, Mr. Burger, has Cobra tanks sitting in the solar power station.
These are straight up Cobra tanks with bubbles on. They have bubbles on the top. It's like a trouble bubble tank almost.
Yeah, it's like you took a Hiss tank and a trouble bubble and mixed it
together. It was a very cool looking tank. I really liked it actually. It was very like weirdo, like a science fiction tank from like 1960.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like what you see like on the cover of like a Robert Heinlein novel or something like that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Or like the cover of like Hammers Slammers. You ever read Hammers Slammers?
Never did.
Ever read those? No, I've always wanted to read those. But I've never read them. What about The Forever War by Joe Haldeman? You ever read that?
I've never read it. No.
You should read that. It's real good. I'm not going to get into a tangent about that.
Yeah. So we have a lot of people showing off, and the Autobots show up. I guess they were like hanging out like the next block over.
Well,
and someone
no,
called him
because
up.
what happened was no, the current like the Decepticons are like doing all this stuff, and they're trying to like siphon the energy out.
Yeah,
And so the current mayor, who I don't think I caught this guy's name,
I don't think he said it.
the mayor, yeah. So he goes up. There's like this news team there. There's like a newscaster and a the fate, the talking head
Hmm.
with the microphone or whatever. Like, this is Sally Jones with KNBC. So she's hanging out there. He goes up and grabs the mic and goes, "Get me the Autobots." Like, dude, that's not how the news works.
But they're
Like, I don't
five
know what
minutes
you're trying
away.
to accomplish here.
They're right there.
But I mean, like was it like, get me the, like, what are they going to patch him through on a microphone, a one-way like transmission microphone there?
Well, we've already established that. I guess they sit there in Teletran 1 and watch newscasts. I don't know
That's all
why.
that dude. That's somebody's job there.
Yeah.
Is just to just watch like every channel of the news and
Yeah.
just to see what's going on.
Oh yeah. And it was good because they show up like they're literally so close, because if unless this is happening like maybe in Wyoming at the furthest away, they're there in a second.
Central to, what is it central to? It's in the
Central
desert.
City's well, Central City's supposed to be on the East Coast. So they have to be hanging out there in like a tent, like drinking like cold drinks, waiting for something to happen. I mean, there's no way they're just showing up.
So speaking of these tanks, there's a one of the guys driving it looks like Oddball from Kelly's Heroes. Did you see this guy? He had the like the mustache and the
Yeah.
soft helmet. He
Oh
looked crazy and
God.
everything.
The
He
the,
looked
the
just like
people in this
he looked
episode
just
are
like
so
Oddball.
good.
I love Kelly's Heroes. That was real cool. And but then like Starscream, what's Starscream's weapon? The null ray? Is that what
Yeah.
it's? The null beam, the null ray,
Null rays. Yeah. His
null
his
ray.
his his,
Okay,
his
so
gun's basically
this
like,
thing is okay. So this is a terrible weapon. First of all, like let me illustrate what happens here, right? So he goes to shoot at the tanks, and then the camera pans over to Starscream, and he shoots the beam, the null ray, at the tanks, and then we cut back, and like Donald Sutherland is in that tank, and he has time to panic for a few minutes, for like a few seconds. He's like, I
and
don't know
get
what to do.
out.
And then the dome opens up, and then he jumps out, right?
Mhm.
And then it gets hot for like 5 seconds, and then it blows up. The null ray is just like a giant microwave oven. It is
It's
like
whatever
it
they
just
needed to be. It's plot armor.
dude. It was like it made these things like hot pockets. It was like okay, they're frozen, they're cool.
They're lava.
Now they're molten. Yes, that's how these tanks were. They were just
Yeah.
they were armored tactical hot pockets.
Yeah, so they're the Autobots they show up and they start fighting in like tracks because let me let them see my ray of darkness or whatever he says. Or shoot my darkness gun at them.
So I don't know if I've ever told the story on the show before, but once when I was about like I don't know how old I was probably in like third grade. My friends and I had this ongoing like play session or whatever, where it's like, okay, well, these are my guys, and we're doing this thing, and then we'll reconvene. We go through this like a mission or an adventure, and we'll reconvene tomorrow after after school or whatever, and whatever. So this ongoing thing where we all like threw all of our toys together, like everything, so everything was mixed together, right? So you had like Star Wars stuff, like GI Joe was in play, like Battlestar Galactica stuff left over, black hole figures, and all ships from from everything, like Tonka ships, and there was like all kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
And so what we did was we all picked like a ship that was our ship, right? And then you picked a few dudes, and that was your crew. And then you were all kind of like these little like bands of like adventurers that hung out together, and you went around and did things or whatever. So but when we were setting this up, we were going through and like defining all the cool stuff that our ships had, my one friend was like, okay, so like my ship has like proton torpedoes, but back in the day, because we were idiots, we called them torpon torpedoes for some reason. And that, that kind of thing. Well, I have a laser turret, and I have like, autopilot and all this stuff. But my one friend goes, my ship has, well, my one friend goes like, hey, I have light speed on my ship. And my other friend goes, my ship has light speed and also dark speed. It has two different speeds it can go at. And so like dude, my mind was
Goes at
blown.
the
I was
speed of
like, oh my
dark.
god, it's got 2 different drives. Like if like we don't know what lights, you don't really know what. I mean, when you're a kid, you don't really know what light speed
Mhm.
is or whatever. So it has like both concepts. I was not really listening how stupid a concept that was, but not to be one upped by 7-year-old kids in the backwoods of Alabama. Trax has a darkness projector somehow.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Like, oh,
He
so
shoots the
dumb.
darkness.
He shoots the
The
darkness,
darkness
dude.
attacks them.
Trax somehow is like, it seems like the coolness of a dude in this show versus the action figure is like it's like an inverse like scale. Like because Trax was just like one of like one of the few Transformers that I actually liked when I was a kid, and he's awful in the show. But then those dudes
He has a yellow lockjaw.
yeah, he's gonna go play tennis, but then
I'm gonna use my darkness gun.
I'm in darkness gun. Yeah, like he talks with his jaw clenched the entire time. But then toys like Starscream were terrible, were like what I thought were bad toys when I was a kid. But then like he's like one of the coolest guys in the show.
Yeah,
So
yeah, agreed. So, they basically beat up the Decepticons and Starscream. Oh yeah, Starscream is just getting just laid down. He gets
dude,
getting shot by like 3 or 4 different Autobots. He's like, Thrust, save me. So Thrust comes in and shoots everyone, and
he
he
says
gives him a
when he does it,
chance.
he says taste death. That was real cool. Like I
Yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah. It's weird, man. Okay, this is like getting into the weeds a little bit of it. The Coneheads all have their certain thing. Dirge, who shows up in later on, he's named Dirge because when he flies in low, he like his engines sound like a dirge, like a death song. It's supposed to be like basically putting fear into the enemies. That
Yeah,
should have
no,
been Dirge doing
that's
this.
I mean, not to go into the weeds, but that's an actual thing in Warhammer. There's a faction that has weapons called dirge casters, and yeah,
Yeah,
no, that makes sense.
yeah. And I always love that. Though we never really got to use it too much in the show, but I always like that idea. If you read the original tech specs of all the different Transformers, a lot of them have really cool stuff, that really cool eccentricities that don't really show up in the show a lot. But yeah, Dirge, that was one of Dirge's. So it should have been Dirge, not Thrust, but we'll leave that. Thrust looks really cool with his VTOL engines and stuff in his wings. So yeah, he shows up and gives Starscream a chance to escape, and they're like, Decepticons retreat, and they all take off. And so the Autobots bask in the glory
Mm-hmm.
of being recognized for being the heroes that they are.
Yeah, man, these dudes are like Bon Jovi out here, man.
Man, they're like finally. I think Bumblebee's like, yeah, finally get noticed.
Finally, like they haven't been heroes this entire time. Like
Yeah,
they didn't
yeah.
spend like that one day in the arcade with everyone like wanting to play video games with Bumblebee.
Oh yeah. So we get back after they're all recognized, and like Optimus Prime shakes the mayor's hand or whatever with his finger. They go back to Burger's office, and Burger is pissed off. Man, he is so mad. He sends the Rent-A-Cops out of the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's just like, what's my plan is just all falling apart. He reaches for his White Snake tape on his desk for whatever reason. He's got a
Oh, he's
cassette.
got a cassette. Oh, he has a cassette on his. Oh, I saw it too. I
He
knew
wants
it
to
was
hear a
gonna. I
little
knew it was.
he was thinking Tawny Katane and grab his cassette, but what happens? It transforms into Laserbeak.
Laserbeak, and then he grabs him. He grabs him by the shoulders. Laserbeak
He
grabs him by the
does.
shoulders, like by those talons, and flies out.
Carries him off to this little plateau.
It must have hurt.
Yeah. It
It
was
must have like robot talons in your shoulders to flying
yeah.
you around. It must have felt real bad.
Probably,
It must have been. I
has
bet it
like,
was scary too for that dude.
oh dude, yeah, seriously. You're dangling in the
I
air.
know. I know. That's like those roller coasters where you hang like the Batman roller coaster where you
No
feet.
way in hell.
I don't like those.
No way in hell.
I don't like those.
So he drops him off, and Megatron's like, "Oh, I hope your journey wasn't too horrible or dangerous or whatever he says." And man, the gaslighting begins immediately.
Dude, Megatron drops some gems here, man. He talks about the
It's
power
so
of
good.
public relations. He talks about pulling the veil of ignorance off. Dude, Megatron has some bars in this one, man.
He has read the QAnon playbook. It's so good.
Yes.
He's like trying to
This dude's
explain to
like,
him, like, we're not the bad guys. You've been led to believe we're the bad guys, but really we're
dude,
trying to help you. But the
God.
Autobots are you know, their public relations have made you believe, everyone believe that we're bad. Well, let us give a chance to prove ourselves. And dude, Megatron goes and boops him on the nose. I swear he does. He reaches down and goes, boop.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
It's like
that's
if you
this is
don't believe
hilarious.
me, I'm gonna give you a little boop, just so you know I'm genuine here.
Yeah, yeah, the veil of ignorance. I like that. Yep. Talking about the power of public relations. This was like he was just spouting off like Amway stuff here. Like he was
It
hanging
was
out with Cobra
great.
Commander.
He actually, yeah, that's a great way to put it, because he said so much, actually said so little with saying so much. He didn't
Yeah.
say anything, but he just wound up Burger, like a Burger
Oh,
who is, I don't know, to myself, he's a very think of a very rich man with a lot of power and like buildings like with his name on him and stuff, and who's trying to get into politics, and he just wounds that guy right up. And so yeah, I don't know that, I don't know if there's any real world factors that creep into this, but I mean, just saying, that's pretty on the nose.
oh, that would never happen in real life.
No, no, no,
There's
never
no way that
happened.
would no way that would ever happen.
But dude,
Oh
the next
God.
scene, Burger is being flown in his helicopter, and his pilot looks like he's wearing a like an 80s Nike tracksuit. It's like purple and gold. He's got a mustache. It looks so
He had a
bad.
mustache. He had a
Oh,
big mustache. He looked kind of like you know what? I bet this dude was related to like Wild Bill from
oh,
GI
from GI
Joe.
Joe. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like Wild Bill's Wild Bill's cousin, and he got like Wild Bill's kind of cast offs, and he just like he dyed the fatigues purple.
It's just
It
like
looks just like it.
Wild
Like, well, they're
Dave.
faded. I might as well make it my own color.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm Wild Frank. I'm a crazy pilot.
This guy was cool, man.
He
He was a good
was.
pilot too. I like this guy. He was
But what man? What news helicopter has like a camera down below on a swivel? That's a cool newscopter.
it was like the GI Joe helicopter that had
It really was.
the chin gun there,
Yeah.
the dragonfly.
Yes, except with,
Yeah.
well, it was the helicopter wasn't that cool, but it had the little swivel down there with the camera.
Yeah, well, yeah,
And
that was pretty cool.
yeah, and of course people are in there either like filming from windows and stuff. Like, get this all on film, because they show up at an oil refinery field. And what do they see right on cue?
Well, the
Autobots.
Autobots are down there stealing. They're turning oil directly into Energon.
They're like,
They
well,
they have the
before,
cube.
yeah,
What's
yeah,
that?
before the workers aren't here yet, so let's go ahead
Yeah.
and raid everything.
Yeah.
And Optimus Prime does this like villain laugh. It's
Yeah, that was
so goofy.
yeah,
It's
that was real bizarre. There's a real cool little musical flourish here. It's like a little Johnny Carson outro or something.
he
Was
kind of,
pretty
yeah, it's
cool.
very flourishy. Yeah,
Uh, Starscream shoots something from the actual nose cone when he's in jet form, and that was real bizarre. I don't know what that. I don't know if that was like
yeah.
another version of the null ray, but that was real weird.
So yeah, and they have a fight here. Wheeljack shoots like a bunch of grenades off his like grenade launcher on his shoulder,
That was
which is
cool.
really effective. I wish he'd do that more often. And they're like, everyone's kind of using their special weapons, and they're like the auto, well, in the Decepticons come back and they start fighting them, and they kind of pin down the Autobots. Megatron confronts Optimus Prime and just beats the heck out of him, and he's like, "No, Autobots, we must retreat."
The Ironhide goes, "Let's give up.
That was so good.
Let's give up."
Let's give up.
This was real cool. The Seekers do this cool thing where it's like I guess Thundercracker and Skywarp are off doing something else. I guess they had something better to do, but Starscream and the three Coneheads do this thing where they all fly down at the same time and they transform at the same time and they all pose the same way. It's like their kiss. Like I wish they would have like spun around all together. That would have been cool.
There's a lot of that in this episode. The posing there is great.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. The Autobots retreat, and there's a shot that hits the the helicopter. The video camera falls down, and Dirge runs over and goes, "Hey, look, everyone! They dropped a camera. Let's make home movies."
It's so weird. What a bizarre scene, dude. I didn't know what to make of that, but like, to be honest, I was like maybe because I'm absolutely like washed out and exhausted today, but I just like, I was like, there's like some comedy gold in there, and I don't know how to get. I can't mind it right now. This is like
Dirge is an idiot.
what is going on? Like, this guy's my hero.
It's like, no, we must save that thing. That's valuable
Yeah,
information.
he was real like, yeah, no, we can't be doing that.
Don't tape over
so,
that.
but there's a parade though. The Autobots are at a parade, and
Yes, this Autobot
so
day.
Autobot Day. So, but there's this really bizarre part where like they're coming through, they're going down the street, and there's like a banner across the strung across two buildings across the street, right?
Yeah.
And it says like Autobot Day across it, right? But then like the camera like goes to like behind where that banner would have been, and the Autobots are coming towards the camera, but you see like what you assume is the back of the banner, but like the banner has the same letters but backwards.
It's like a see-through banner.
Like it was supposed to be clear or something, like, or like it was like, why would the letters be backwards? Or did you just use like a marker and it bled through to the back? Like
there's Sharpies on it.
Like what? Yeah, exactly. He's like a laundry marker, and it just blow all the way through to the back. Like what is going? Why was it backwards? It was like a really bizarre detail that I was like, why did they do this? Like,
why would they not include Sparkplug, Spike, and Chip, who've arguably done a lot of help? I mean,
where's
Spike
Chip
alone.
been?
Yeah, I know. I mean,
he's been building bombs.
Yeah, dude, he's been working for the American military complex.
Oh yeah, no, he's working for like Lockheed Martin or something.
Oh yeah,
like
you know he is.
Like, so, hey, Chip, we need like a real new bomb. We need a bomb or something.
Oh yeah,
like, yeah, I'll design a new bomb for you.
So the Autobots are all taking credit while Spike has been put in danger all these times, but he's not getting any credit. He's gonna sit on the sidelines. Yeah,
he's not an Autobot, despite the episode named Autobot Spike. Yeah. So we have some a guy loading some Betamax, some beta cam tapes into a top loading VCR. Did you ever have a top loading VCR when you were a kid?
I did when I was much younger. You've seen those newsreel things though. They're huge. The newsreel.
Yeah, those are Betacam. Betacams or what those are called. They're not like Betamax. If I said Betamax, my apologies. But yeah, like those.
Okay,
those,
so that's what you're talking. Okay, I know.
Yeah, Betacam is that format because it's like higher than quality than the VHS, I guess.
It's high definition for that era.
Higher definition,
yeah. Well, for the anyways, yeah. So he's like, he's the Autobots all transforming, going to the city hall, and they're like, getting ready to be presented the award. Like, let's look at what the Autobots have done. Like, let's watch this. Roll the footage.
Oh no!
And then like the newsroom, the guy's like, I can't show that, Mr. Berger. He's like, you should remember who owns the station.
Okay. And then he loads the top loading VHS in there. Yeah. Oh, what's going on? We got some deep fakes going on. We've got Star Wars Rogue One happening right here, dude.
Like, I said that is a deep fake, but Ironhide goes, that's not a solar power plant. Yeah,
no, it wasn't. He's right. It wasn't.
That's an oil field.
Nope. So, dude, the Autobots are they go to
Ironhide.
Oh man, they kicked the Autobots right out. So we have another dude with a mustache in the crowd outside of the city hall with a bag of tomatoes. He's gonna throw. He was prepared for them to be bad, and he's ready there with a bag of tomatoes to throw at them. But he doesn't throw them. He doesn't throw any tomatoes at him. Other people throw tomatoes. He doesn't throw any tomatoes. He was just instigating the crowd.
Did you hear what the mayor said to the Autobots? It's like, well, I believe you, but it looks very bad. Hey, make sure you're stay in town. We can get a hold of you. And Optimus goes, we'll be in our base if you need us. He's like, no. He basically said, stay in town. He's like, Optimus Prime's like, nah, we're gonna go home.
The base. How far away is the base? How far away is
apparently it's like down the road. It's very
analogous. So they go back to the Ark, and there's a whole column of those cool tanks are coming out the Ark. But my dude, finally, oh my god, 14 minutes, 17 seconds into the 15th episode of the second season of Transformers, it has finally happened. That I have complained, I have wrung my hands, I have like gnashed my teeth over this since the beginning of this cursed cartoon series that we've been watching together. The Autobots have at last finally installed a front door to the entrance of the Ark. It's finally happened. They finally, somebody finally did it. They finally saw the Japanese tape.
How long did it take him? God,
15 minutes into the 15th episode of the second season.
Yeah, it's been at least a
so
year.
I mean, so 30 episodes.
Yeah, something like that.
30 episodes of this show.
Close enough. Close enough.
Finally, God, a garage door. No more cassettes coming in. Like Soundwave can't just randomly walk in. Laserbeak can't just fly in and be like, "Oh, I got all the data I needed. That's like, I'm just gonna do espionage in here."
Yeah, pretty much. No, look, okay, they all walk out. All the Autobots leave out of there, and like they walk to the front door. We're not gonna, just surrender to you. We'll only surrender to a legitimate,
law enforcement
officer. And the mayor's like, Optimus Prime, you're under arrest.
And my dude, that is not how mayoral powers work.
No, not at all.
Like I'm a legitimate law enforcement division. Like,
is he the legitimate law enforcement of the planet? I mean, come on, man. At least get the CIA or the FBI in here. You get the president, like, Optimus Prime, you're under arrest. You got to come with the Cobra tanks.
Who's gonna make them? Like, who's gonna force these guys to do any of this stuff? Like, I'm like, I don't think there's tanks. That's a lot of tanks, but like, I've seen the Autobots blow up a lot of tanks at one time.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, hell, the last episode, like the Day of the Machines. Mm-hmm. But Optimus Prime's like, no. Let's go with them. I'm sure it'll be all okay.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So Burger, he has the American flag draped behind him. He's doing a closed circuit, press conference thing.
Yes.
His name is on the skyscraper.
Yes. Also,
he's like, we're finally going to be rid of those robots.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm waiting for everyone that the frogs are gay.
For granola bars. So we cut to this reporter who looks like the Baroness. She's doing some man on the street interviews. And nice. Who is she interviewing? The blonde mustache dude that I think was the same guy that had the tomatoes earlier. This guy's a plant.
Yes.
This guy's from the deep state.
Deep state plant. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, man. But so we have, oh my God, I feel like this could have been like a 3-part episode. We could have had the trial of the Autobots, but they do it in a football stadium.
Dude, I said the same thing. They're holding a trial in a football stadium with a stage set up with the justice up there and a chair. They have a recliner out there for Burger to sit there and give his testimony.
Dude, oh my God,
who brought the lazy boy out?
Dude, they cut over to some Decepticons. They're just like chilling out. They're like posted up on this wall, like feet are crossed, and like these guys are about to these guys are like I mean they're bad guys because they're bad guys, but they're acting like a bunch of bad guys right now, acting like bad dudes.
They are chill,
like
they are so
like these dudes are gonna they're chill, but they're like hanging out like they're the guys are gonna jump like the hero in like a martial arts movie. These guys have like sleeveless like jackets on. These guys are like. Yeah,
they are the guy. What's the guy who's was in Die Hard? He's in a Big Trouble in Little China. The Asian guy.
Is that Ken Long or Ken Long?
Yes.
Yeah. That guy's awesome.
With like gang colors on. He would in this scene.
Oh yeah, no, he totally would. Yeah, he totally would. He was also Genghis Khan in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Was he? I haven't seen that in so many years. Yep. I gotta watch that now. I can kind of see.
Yeah, you do. It's great.
Oh, I'm trying to get my wife to watch the movies. Actually, she's never seen them.
Oh, they're so good,
dude. By the way, side here, she's never wanted to watch Indiana Jones movies because she only has seen the Crystal Skull. But I told her she needs to watch Raiders with me because that is, in my opinion, is one of the perfect movies.
It's my favorite movie.
Raiders, my favorite of the Indiana Jones movies because with Dial of Destiny's
my favorite movie. Period.
Oh,
my favorite movie.
Okay, well,
that's my absolute favorite movie.
it is an epic that kind of spans that film noir old Hollywood to the 80s Hollywood. It feels perfect.
No, it's so good.
I'm
I
almost
see.
there,
The
man.
thing
I'm
is
so
with
close.
The thing with Crystal Skull is I don't like Crystal Skull, but I don't dislike it for the reasons that everyone else dislikes it. And you know, and I think I told someone in the Discord a while back that I would address that. I'm going to address that now.
No,
Here's the thing. Okay, everyone talks crap about the refrigerator scene, how they hate the refrigerator
I
scene.
don't care about that.
And I don't care about that either because the thing is that actually like it's set in the 50s and that was like a common like piece of advice that you got from civil defense then. Like if there's going to be a nuclear bomb, then you know, you get into a lead line refrigerator. And it was
Mhm.
like, oh, well, that's playing with the tropes of the time, you know, like Indy's. I mean, he did stupid stuff like that in the previous movies. Like he did stuff like hitching a ride on a submarine. You know, I mean, it's not out
Dude,
of the realm of possibility of the of Indiana Jones films.
you
That's
can outrun a
fine.
boulder. That's probably like
Yeah, run a
3
boulder.
tons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's keeping with the times.
Yeah.
Okay, so people get angry about the fact that it was spoiler if you haven't seen Crystal Skull. A, don't, but B, if you haven't, like here's a spoiler for Crystal Skull. It's the Crystal Skull is this thing from these aliens from like another planet, and you know if they find a spaceship at the end or whatever. And
I got to interrupt you for a second. Did you listen to the newest episode of Real Phonies?
I don't think so. Not yet.
Come on, it hurts you.
I'm
Hurts
very
you really.
I'm behind. I'm behind, dude. I've been so busy. I've
They
been
actually
behind.
go over Crystal Skull, and this is one of the things that Hurt brings up. So go ahead.
Um. So, but see, the thing is that it deals a lot with like Mesoamerican mythology in that movie. And the thing is, to Mesoamerica, like okay, let me back up. All of the Indiana Jones movies deal with gods and divine things or whatever, and that stuff is all real. Like those like stories from the Bible. In Indiana Jones, all the stories from the Bible are real. Like all like the ark is a real thing. It has real magical powers, and you know the Holy Grail is a real thing that actually, you know, was Jesus's, you know, cup and all this stuff. So all those things are real things. The thing is, to Mesoamericans, you could argue that aliens were gods to them, and so it still fits in with the way that Indiana Jones movies work. It's just that everything else wasn't any good.
Yeah, the too much CG that was really not great. The whole
The
jungle
ants
scene,
were real bad.
yeah, the jungle
The
scene just
swinging
killed
through the
me.
trees was real bad.
Yeah,
I just yeah, like it wasn't a terribly good movie. It wasn't terribly fun either.
no,
So
Shia really did not get it for me.
no, me either. And
I
we've
love,
talked about that guy before. So
yeah, I love Karen Allen, and Harrison Ford is Harrison Ford.
yeah, me too. So,
That those two were stellar.
yeah,
The rest of it,
it's just everything else. I just didn't think it
I
was very
actually
good.
they were talking about Real Funny is a really cool idea of this, and I'm not going to spoil the whole Hurt's whole thing of this, but I agree with him that Kate Blanchett her accent changes a few times, but it keeps in really good flow with our idea of pulp
Mhm.
stories, where the Russian
Okay.
accent is kind of analogous. So
Yeah.
I like that. I like Kurt's his explanation with that. So I definitely check that episode out. Our people listening, our friends podcast, Real Phonies, um, REEL Phonies. Anyways,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Really good dudes. And we should
yeah,
have
yeah,
Hurt on the show again
fun
because
episodes.
that was a lot of fun. So, but
Anyways,
Spike found the real tape, and oh my, this was silly.
okay, I gotta
There's like
say real quick before you do this, he he leaves the stands by the field. If you ever have been to a football game, you do not jump over the wall and run across the field to get out of the stadium. You go up and out.
he also says stall them. Who are they going to stall? How are they
Stall
going to
the
stall these guys?
judge. Oh,
Stall them.
I'm gonna find some more evidence.
I like what like it's like hey like we're at the Super Bowl. Hey Evan, hey stall like I gotta go get another beer. Stall the team. Like stall this third
God,
down
man,
play.
I'm gonna,
I don't want to miss this. Like
I'll yell up from the stands.
what are you gonna
No,
do?
this game is
What
a
are you gonna do?
farce.
Dude. So he found the real tape. And the Decepticons were like pulling they had masks. It was masks the whole time.
There's actually
Masks.
a there's a figure of I think it's Starscream, a masterpiece Starscream figure where he has an Optimus Prime mask you can put over his head. Yeah,
Seriously?
yeah, yes, yes, yes. I promise.
That's
Or maybe
pretty
or it
awesome.
might be an Optimus Prime figure where you can put like Starscream's air takes in his head on instead of
See,
his
but
head.
see,
Yeah,
that was the thing is like like so it was like Optimus Prime, and then he pulled like the mask off, but then like the air intake things like popped up out of the shoulders,
yeah,
like
yeah.
what?
Like he got
Why
real
did
excited all of a sudden.
I don't know, man. So
But
we go back to the trial of the Autobots, and they're banished from
from
Earth.
Earth.
But see, how are they gonna like the whole plot of the show is that they're stuck on Earth. The whole entire plot of is they're stuck on Earth. The Decepticons wanted to escape a bazillion times and they can't. So to the point where they summoned their home planet to like, if we can't go home, then home will come here. So
Yeah,
they're banished from Earth. How are they gonna leave?
I got to jump here real quick before you see you do this reveal. So Soundwave sends Ravage after Spike. Ravage's only weakness apparently is rotating doors. He can't operate rotating glass
He didn't
doors.
have any. He didn't have hands.
Oh, well, you push through your head. I don't know. He's metal. And dude, like Chip Chase is like yelling out in the from the crowd, and this dude comes where the judge calls Chip Chase a child. Dude, this guy's been working for the American military industrial complex. He's not a child anymore. He's got blood on his hands. Chip Chase is completely he's culpable. He's
He's
not a child
complicit.
anymore. The
He's
innocence
complicit,
is
dude.
gone. Anyways,
Man.
so
But it turns out that Elon Trump donated spaceship.
he, Burger has a spacecraft. He
Dude,
donated a spacecraft.
how is this? How is this so spot on to the modern times? Did like Paul Atreides write this episode, dude? Like what? Like this is insane.
Real world factor screaming.
Real world factors crept
Uh,
backwards into the episode. Like the show crept into real world factors. The show factors crept into the real world. This is insane. This is absolutely just like because like you know, I'm sure that some dad was watching this in like, you know, 1985 and just that never happened. And now I'm watching and I'm like, oh, this actually already happened.
yeah.
And
And dude,
so
go ahead.
the Autobots hop on this, they load up on this ship and they blast into space. And oh, Megatron.
But did
Oh
you see
man,
before they
he
got on the
turns.
ship though? They were like hesitating, and Megatron and all the Seekers like, get on the ship. They're all aiming their guns at him, like, get on.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
because of the
You
good
gotta make
guys,
sure
right?
they gotta make sure they get on, dude. You gotta make sure they
Yeah,
get
yeah.
on.
But yeah,
Megatron changes the controls and he's gonna fly them into the sun.
he has a
Oh my
light
god, he
gun
double
setting
crossed.
on
Oh
his
my
fusion
god.
cannon. He changes the screen with his light, his like Nintendo light gun.
Yeah, man.
Turns off
But see,
communications.
why was the arc? Why was the controls for this thing in the why were the controls for this thing in the arc and not like in like Burger's headquarters, Burger Towers?
Uh, yeah. Man, I don't have a good plot
That
arc
was
or
real
excuse for
weird.
this one. No, no, this
That
is
was real
just
weird. He's gonna fly him into the sun, and then that's the cliffhanger is the Autobots going into the sun.
yep. So
Yeah, that was it, and
that was such a
that was it.
bonkers
To be
episode.
continued tomorrow is what it says. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
man, man, this was a really good episode. I think. I
It was
mean,
fun.
so there was a cliffhanger. Like there's like the bad guys are winning, which is always a cool thing when you're like, oh my god, how are they going to get out of this? The bad guys have won. They have won the battle. Like that's it. And um, I don't. The thing that kind of drags down for me is I feel like you didn't have like that one protagonist that like a lot of my favorite episodes do. Or you know, a lot of times there's like one dude that's like that does you know things are kind of centered around one or two guys that things are kind of centered around. But this was really fun. I love the whole bad guys taking over. That's a trope that I absolutely love. And so yeah, I didn't really have a lot of complaints with this episode. There weren't like I mean, even the things that were silly were like fun, you know, silly that I can you know talk about. And I was pretty excited about it. And this was a good episode to come back you know after a couple of week layoff. It was a good episode to come back to. And I mean, it wasn't really filler. You feel like this is a you know a pretty you know meaningful episode in the overall you know timeline of Transformers. And so I'm gonna have to go 4
Ooh,
blonde mustaches out of 5.
I can understand that completely. This actually is one of those episodes I was waiting to get to because I haven't watched in a while. I know the whole premise, and they use this premise in I think the third Michael Bay movie a bit. They use a lot of the plot devices from the Transformers animated series in the third movie, Dark of the Moon. But yeah, I mean, there's so much goofy stuff in this episode, but I love the idea of people. Sorry, let me back up. Megatron gaslighting people into believing, because he doesn't have to do like brute force stuff. He's like, let me use the public relations, get this working for me.
The power of public relations.
And this the weird things, man. I laughed so hard both times when I was watching the episode, and Dirge goes, "Let's make home movies." That killed me. That killed me, dude. I was dying. I laughed.
Yes, Ted Cruz, prepare for battle.
Yeah, it was great.
This was it was good, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. Where are you on this one?
Yeah, I would definitely agree, man. I give this 4 Cobra tanks out of 5 on this. This is really fun stuff, man. I can't wait for part 2. And it was kind of nice having the Coneheads like really in this. There's one of those episodes where they just, here, we're gonna throw all the new characters in this. You're gonna meet them all.
Yeah, that's cool.
Even even Lockjaw.
Yeah, Tracks. God, what a goon.
You're gonna see a lot more tracks coming up, but yeah, this is actually not a bad one to have in there.
All right.
So yeah, it's a fun episode. This is one of those highlights of season 2. We always kind of like talk to you about like how bad things are getting in season 2. This is one of the highlights.
All right on.
Yeah. So
this was a lot of fun. I liked every part of this. I thought it was good. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Cool, man. Well, we are going to get on this, and episode or part 2 of this should be on next week's, and I'm glad to get into that, man. And we're gonna, dude, I have to tell you, we're gonna get some really bad ones coming up, but enjoy this highlight. I'm just gonna say there's 3 words I have for you coming up: City of Steel.
Ooh, that sounds real cool.
No,
that sounds real cool. I can't wait for that one.
It's like a Mark Singer sci-fi movie. Cool. So let me give you an idea. Anyways, yeah, I mean, Mark Singer at his worst.
I thought you meant Bryan Singer at first. I was like,
oh God,
I was like, I don't want to see that either. I don't.
No, I'm thinking Mark Singer. I'm thinking the Beastmaster and his worst stuff.
Wait, who was? Oh no, wait, no. Bryan Singer directed the. No, never mind. I was Bryan Singer directed the good X-Men movies.
Yeah. I'm thinking.
No, I was thinking that he was the one that directed the bad X-Men movies.
Oh no, I'm talking about
Brett Ratner. Brett Ratner directed the bad.
Yes.
X-Men 3.
I'm talking about Mark Singer. Bad sci-fi. I'm trying to redo my image and not be the Beastmaster kind of singer.
What about Eric Singer? Who's he? Oh, never mind. I was thinking that was the one I got from Kiss. No, that wasn't like one of the bad singers from Kiss, but no. I think it was Eric Carr. My bad.
It was Eric Carr. Yes, I remember that quite a bit actually. God, it was a Car Jam. Was there the song he had on Revenge? It was terrible.
I don't know. I don't know. It was.
I got a Kiss Revenge from Columbia House in the 90s.
No.
Yeah, it was terrible. I think I listened to that like once. It was free, man. Well, it was like a penny.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, what do we got?
Sorry, let's go ahead and call it here, man. You got anything to bring us out on here?
No, for now I was discombobulated and I completely forgot. And I'm also as I said earlier, I'm exhausted. I built a fence today and I'm extremely exhausted. So I completely forgot to look up a quote.
I've heard excuses. This is a bad one though. Oh. All right, y'all.
I'm full of excuses.
Until next week, I'll see y'all later.
Take Roll out.
See ya.
More the Mises Guys is performed by Evan Johns and Ed Strickland. Research is performed by Evan Johns, Ed Strickland, and with special research done by Boo of the AxelonUnderground.net. All used images in the videos are property of Sunbow, Hasbro, Paramount, or Marvel. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in every week with us. We appreciate it.